Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller with you here, where we have a weekly view of life here at Garden Plaza of Valley View. Kat is with us once again. We've got a very special VIP guest. Kat, who do we have with us?
Well, Kevin, today we have one of our very own independent living residents, Jim, with us here today, and I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit further. Hi, Jim.
Hello.
Jim, good to have you with us here. How long have you been here at Garden Plaza of Valley View?
2 years. I've been here exactly 2 years.
2 years, and what led you here, sir?
Well, I think all the events they have and the kindness of the staff and taking care of the people here have been really phenomenal for me.
Well, that is so important. Tell us about some of your favorite times here.
Well, one of the things they do is they allow mission management to come in here and talk about, I'm going blind, unfortunately, but I talk with mission of event, and they're very good about what they do.
Well, we're sorry to hear about you going blind. Now, do you work with a lot of folks on that? And
yeah, I have a person that comes in to help me do things. We walk down here to the kitchen area, and so they help me decide what to wear and what to put on and how to fix my clothes and all the things that a blind person would want to have handy.
Sure, and when you think about that, a lot of things that most of us, sir, take for granted. Now, do you have family in the area? Or?
Yeah, I have two daughters that live in the area, and they come over here quite a bit and help me out and help me fix my apartment up and things like that.
Sure, so it's just like visiting your home because they are visiting your home. Right?
Exactly. And as I said, they're very good, and so the combination of the staff here and my daughters helping me has been very phenomenal.
Would that be, describing like peace of mind because they know you're safe and taken care of, and you feel safe and taken care of?
Exactly. I do feel safe and taken care of, and they realize that. So it works out pretty good.
Well, and, that is so much easier said than done when we look at the idea of moving out of your home and coming into a new home. Could you please, sir, take us through that process?
Well, the process normally would be you would try to sell your home before you moved in here, and that's been done by quite a few people here. I've talked to people who have done that quite a bit, and the other issue would be to get accustomed to living in an apartment rather than a house, which is a little difficult sometimes. And but I think the people here, the staff, are so nice. I mean, they really take care of you, and everybody does a good job.
Well, and we want to remind everybody that you're listening to Garden Plaza's Welcome Home, and if you have a question or a concern, maybe a relative that or someone that you know that is looking for a place to live, the phone number here is 208-322-0311. That's 322-0311. You can check them out anytime, valleyviewret.com. That's valleyviewret.com. And we have Kat with us. We've got Jim. And Kat, when you hear Jim's story of working hand in hand with his family, with the staff here, obviously that's easier said than done.
It's definitely easier said than done, but Kevin, I will say that Jim has a pretty unique relationship with some of our staff. He comes down to our front desk every morning. He always has a really fun rapport with our front desk staff and our human resources staff. They help him get his blood pressure taken. They talk to him about where he's going to take his walks that day, make sure that everything that he needs is in place, and that's something that isn't just unique to Jim. We see that with a lot of our residents, staff just going that little extra step to make sure that our residents get the support they need, but also have those relationships in place.
Well, and Jim, that is important, to take your blood pressure every day, right? And,
yes.
And tell me about the walks.
I'm a walker. I used to be a hiker, but now I can't hike because it's too far to the mountains. So I walk a lot, and I think I'm known here as the walker of the place.
Sure.
And I go out, and I have to be careful because I fell down a couple weeks ago and broke a rib. So I have to be careful about walking, but I'm the walker of the place.
Jim the Walker, huh?
Jim the Walker.
That's that's a good name to have. I've been called a lot of names. So, do you have a favorite time of year here, Jim?
Well, I like summer, I guess, best. Spring and summer kind of come together, and the summer is the heat is good, and I enjoy that very much.
Well, yeah, obviously, probably don't like the winter because you can't do the walking, huh?
That's right. But what we do there is we walk upstairs. You know, you can do a complete circle upstairs,
right?
And then you add a couple more things to it, and you come up with a 2, 3, 4, 5 mile walk. And I've done that quite a bit.
Well, Kat, as Jim's smiling here with us at Garden Plaza Valley View on KIDO Talk Radio, if you could, when we take a look at people that have additional needs, how do you guys incorporate that and help folks like Jim and others?
Well, the first thing we need to know is what are those needs and what can we do to support our residents. So we like to have transparency in terms of what we can offer and can provide, and we want to know what those residents may need from us or can get from outside services. So we've had in the past Saturdays some different agencies come on and talk about the services they can provide for our residents. So we're going to find out what those needs are and get them in communication with them. Jim touched on the Commission for the Blind that comes in. We have quite a few residents that are able to utilize some of those services. We also have VA meetings here for our veterans that are able to get some extra resources. So if we know some specifics about an individual, we're going to put them in contact with the right resources.
Jim, when we talk about the Commission for the Blind coming in, could you take us through that? What do they do for you?
Well, basically, they kind of help you decide what to wear, what to put on, how to get yourself dressed, and just put you through a normal day that a person would go through if they weren't blind. Now, I'm not blind right now. I can see a little bit out of my left eye, but I'm blind enough that I can't see too much beyond that. And so it's coming eventually, and hopefully with the work that I'm doing with the Blind Commission, it will be okay.
Jim, what would you say to people that are tuning into this program, and there are so many choices for senior citizens to live? What would you say to them directly? We watch the Garden Plaza commercials on Channel 7, and, it's about 10 seconds, but we've got as much time as possible. What would you say to people that are, maybe in your position, were in your position, or family members figuring out what to do next?
I'm an ex-human resources person. That was my life history. Kat asked me about my background. I was a human resources person, and it's very clear to me that the people who work here, the staff members who work here, were hired because they like to work with older people. I think that's important to understand that these kind of people they like what they're doing. They enjoy working with older people. And this really talks a lot about where to be. And you're right, there are quite a few places, and we've looked at quite a few places, and we picked Garden Valley because of the niceness of the people that we talk to.
Well, and that's where you come in, folks. Their number here, 208-322-0311, 208-322-0311, valleyviewret.com. And, Jim, how long did it take you to get in?
It was easy right away. I mean, I was approved in talking with Pam Sternberg, who's the general manager here, and so I got in very quickly.
Well, Kat, for people that, again, are tuning in and around all the time, new people coming into the Treasure Valley, new homes being built.
All the time.
Right, and new senior care living. Let's talk about the Garden Plaza difference. Obviously, the tradition, historically known here in Boise for quite some time, and with that tradition comes a lot of credibility.
Credibility absolutely comes with it. We've been here in Boise for 32 years. We like to think we know what we're doing because of that. We have a lot of longevity in our staff that Jim touched on earlier when he said the people that are here, you can tell they want to be here. You can tell they like working with this generation and doing the work they're doing. And I think that speaks to some of our staff members that have been here for 20 plus years, some of our residents that have been here for 15 and 16 years. There's that longevity and that continued success. It's one thing if you have success for a year or 2 years, but when you have that history and that foundation supporting you, I think that's what makes the difference and sets us apart.
Well, and we talk about great sports teams or great businesses. It is that consistency of the staff. You don't have a turnover, and you're not starting brand new day one.
Exactly. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're doing what we've done because it works.
Jim, what would you say, and you have talked so graciously about the staff here, but the fact for 2 years you've pretty much been known everybody here. The staff doesn't turn over.
No, and that's one thing that I noticed right away. When you ask somebody how long they've been here, they say 5 years, 10 years. Everybody kind of jumps to it, and it makes it really nice to know that the people who stayed here are the people that work on you and help you.
Right, because that makes it your home. You don't want strangers coming in. At least I wouldn't. Right?
Right.
All right. Jim, anything else you'd like to share with us today?
No, I think I've said about everything that I can say about the people who work here and what they do and how that makes the people feel pretty good about things to do. And there are so many things to do, it would be impossible to do everything every day. So you've got some time to yourself if you want to read, or we have a lot of reading rooms where people can just kind of hang out and read and stuff like that. So,
or if you want to go for a walk.
Or go for a walk. There's another one.
Jim, thank you very much.
You bet. My pleasure.
Pleasure having you. By the way, you're listening to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View. Folks, if you have a question, I know Kat loves to take phone calls, loves to have the tours. Here's the phone number. We're going to give it to you a couple times. 208-322-0311. That's 208-322-0311. And online anytime, valleyviewret.com. That's valleyviewret or valleyviewret.com. You're listening to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View on not one but two stations. That's 107.5 FM, 580 AM with your host Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. And good afternoon once again. Kevin Miller here on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Welcome home, Garden Plaza of Valley View. Before we get to our MVP guest, our reoccurring guest, and we love having Dee Childers on with us. But before that, I do want to remind everybody, if you have a question, concern, or you just want to talk to real people that have been here in the Treasure Valley for so many years, when you're talking about your senior parent or if you're a senior yourself, the staff is not about selling, they're about taking care of you. Call them now, 208-322-0311. That's 208-322-0311, Garden Plaza of Valley View, right here in the Treasure Valley, right here in Boise. ValleyviewRET.com. That's ValleyviewRET.com. Fast moving up. If she doesn't own the top spot, she's very close when we're talking about guests on Welcome Home. Dee Childers joining us once again. Dee, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Now, first of all, tell us a little bit about your business, because we want to make sure that, we compensate you for your time and your content here today. So tell us a little bit about your business, and we're going to talk about some relevant and fascinating facts coming up.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Kevin. So I own Life Changes Elder Care Consulting, and we are a provider of care management. So we're not hands-on caregivers, but we help assess and develop a care plan for anybody that might need that in the senior world in the Treasure Valley. And at that point in time, then we kind of shift to doing more medical advocacy. So we attend doctor's appointments with our clients, make sure changes are communicated to care facilities, to family members, to other medical practitioners. So we make sure everything stays on track and nothing falls through the cracks. We also, when appropriate, help families find the right facility or assisted living facility in the Valley. Sometimes that might be a certified family home. Sometimes it's a skilled nursing facility. But we are working the streets, and we know what's going on at the buildings, so we know where to make good referrals, like to Garden Valley Plaza.
Well, when we take a look at just the overall growth, Dee, and I know you work with a lot of homes and a lot of facilities, and a lot of are building and moving in. For people that are listening right now, what determines a good place from a place you might want to keep on going down the road, just in general? And obviously you deal with a lot of folks, but some helpful tips for people.
I think there's many things that people need to do in assessing that. But the first thing is to go make an appointment and show up and get the official tour. And the second thing is just show up sometime when no one is expecting you. And pay attention to what's going on around you and get a sense of how the building feels. Do you see caregivers? Do residents seem happy? So doing your due diligence about showing up in the building and getting a sense of what's going on there is very important. The second thing is you can check the Health and Welfare website for their most recent survey results. So the Department of Health and Welfare surveys all facilities, assisted livings, I believe it's annually, skilled nursing facilities more often. But you can see, do they have any significant violations? Is there a trend, or are they a pretty clean and well-operated building? So those are the first two things that you want to check. Then probably drilling down a little bit is you want to understand how much care staff do they have to the number of residents that are in their building, because you need to make sure that they have the right number of people to take care of your folks.
And when you're on the phone with the folks, anything you should ask besides that?
Well, Kevin, I have a 3-page list of questions that I will be very happy to send to anybody who makes that request of me. And so you can go to my website, lifechangeseldercare.com, and send a request in through my website. You can call me at 208-321-5567. That's 208-321-5567.
This is why you're the MVP. LifeChangesElderCare.com with our great friend Dee Childers. Kevin Miller here with you at Garden Plaza of Valley View. You know, have you been to Hawaii?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Recently I had a chance to go to Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
And when you're in Hawaii, the customer service everywhere is outstanding. That really should be what you get in a home for your loved one, right? Isn't that what people should be shooting for?
That should be what you're shooting for. It's hard to get that level of service in a place where they're actually providing hands-on cares, though. And that's what you have to remember, is when you typically move to at least an assisted living, is people are having to help with the activities of daily living, and those caregivers are running their tails off to make sure that those basic needs are being met. So there's additional services that can support and shore that up, but a good facility will be staffed appropriately that you can get great care.
For independent living, though, like the restaurant where we're at right now, the dining hall, where people eat, you see just the service here. It's great. It's
not only is it great, the food is good. I've eaten here any number of times.
We're still hoping to get a meal here. It's been a while since we've had one. That's how good the food is. Yeah.
But they do a lot of activities. They're engaged. When I just walk in the door, I walk through by the activity rooms, and I see people always involved and out and about. And plus, it's just an incredibly lovely facility with many spaces for people to gather and create community and have a social life here. So,
right, that's often overlooked, but it's so crucial to your overall mental and emotional health.
Absolutely. It's right up there at the top with maintaining cognition and health. That connection to others is really, really important.
Indeed. By the way, we want to remind everybody, you're listening to Garden Plaza of Valley View, our program Welcome Home from Garden Plaza of Valley View. If you have a question, would like to take a tour, 208-322-0311. 208-322-0311. Valley View RET, valleyviewret.com. Dee Childers joining us from Life Changes Elder Care, lifechangeseldercare.com. What type of, we talk about the broadcasting business, we talk about other industries, the senior care industry, for people listening and, with the baby boomers aging, the World War II generation, the greatest generation continuing to age, we're all going to have to deal with this. So could you describe for us, again, for people that are new to it, the senior care economy of scale, if you will?
Well, and that becomes part of the problem, is there's a quagmire of services out there, and until you need them, you don't really have a sense of how much you need to know. And that's why having a navigator or someone in a care management position can be really helpful. You only use us, you only pay for us when you need us, but to have a professional navigator can be incredibly helpful. People often don't understand the difference between home care and home health, and they get very confused. Home health is prescribed by a physician and is paid for by insurance. Home care is private pay. And it's those nuances that often throw people. So having people that can give you information and a roadmap is critical. Same thing with facilities. There's independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing facilities. Then there's the long-term care part of skilled nursing. And then there's the rehab. It goes on and on.
And that's where someone like you comes in.
Exactly.
Now, what led you to this? I know we've talked about it before, but we have new people coming in all the time, because to me, it doesn't seem like a profession. It seems like a calling, what you do.
And Kevin, you're absolutely right. I had a 30-year career in corporate human resources prior to doing this. I was a marriage and family therapist as well. But it happened as a result of my own experience with my own parents. My father has Alzheimer's disease. We didn't know about it. We were being the traditional adult children, sticking our head in the sand and thinking it was, it was going to go away or it wasn't going to get worse, until one day I realized my dad was being financially exploited several $100,000 because he no longer had the capacity to make good decisions. And what I realized is that I was in a very rich position to be able to almost stop working completely for 6 months to figure this whole thing out. And that's finding the right doctors and getting the right diagnosis. And then where does he have to go to live, and how do I get him here? And this profession's been around for a long time. I knew about it when I lived in Florida, and then began researching it, realizing this is a calling, and this is something I want to make easier for other people that are coming up behind me in this journey.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
So I started my journey 8.5 years ago, but I've been in business for 7 years, and very pleased about that. We've grown. We have 3 care managers and an admin, and we're looking to add on another care manager. Boise gets such recognition as being a great place to retire that people are moving in from all over the country, and I'm actually getting referrals from other care managers or other states who are their clients are moving to Boise. So Boise is booming, and support services are greatly needed.
All right, more coming up with the Children's of Life Changes Elder Care. By the way, lifechangeseldercare.com. Her number 208-321-5567. 208-321-5567. Coming up, we're going to talk about Alzheimer's, what you can do, early detection, and, of course, the local group that's making a difference right here in the Treasure Valley. You're listening to Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View. Kevin Miller on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. We are here at Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View. Kevin Miller with you. And every Saturday at this time, right before Dr. Rosie, right after a core group, we have a chance to come in, have a good time, talk about senior care and senior care living. If you have a question, concern, want to take a tour, hang out with us, 208-322-0311. That's 208-322-0311. ValleyViewRet.com. That's ValleyView, R-E-T, one word, .com. Dee Childers joining us once again. LifeChangesElderCare.com of Life Changes Elder Care. So, Dee, let's take a look at an issue that continues to get a lot of attention. Locally, there's been a big move with the Alzheimer's Walk, the Longest Day, and others to raise awareness about Alzheimer's. It hits so many Americans.
It does, and your greatest risk factor for dementia is aging. And the second risk factor is being female, because we tend to live longer. But Alzheimer's disease is a growing national crisis that we need to find a cure and or treatment for, and as of such, there is not. People often don't understand that Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. So dementia is the syndrome, Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. And there's a number others, Parkinson's related, Lewy body, vascular dementia, and people often have a combination of dementias, and that was actually an awareness that I got more information on last night at a lecture that I was at from a local Dr. Desai, and some of the most recent research shows that one of the best things that you can do to prevent dementia is the same things to maintain good heart health and good brain health. They're very similar. Eat well, Mediterranean and DASH diet, get good exercise 3 to 4 times a week, 30 minutes a time, and manage your stress, because stress is becoming more and more known as a huge factor in all of this. So managing those 3 things is your best bet towards preventing the likelihood of obtaining any of those dementias.
Well, and yet we still have that issue. Let's talk a little bit about a website where people can go, alz.org, and of course, Idaho.com. Let's take a look at this. Tell us a little bit about that website.
So the Alzheimer's Association website is an amazing resource that everybody has access to, regardless if it's Alzheimer's or any other type of dementia. There is a plethora of information that's out there, and it's free to everyone. In addition, they also have a 1-800 phone number that anyone can call. It's staffed by licensed clinicians 24/7. So if you're having any issue out there, anybody that you might need to just talk about what's going on with your loved one, or you have a question, it's a great resource that's available to everyone. And that phone number is 800-272-3900, and I encourage people to look at not only the website but take advantage of that resource.
Sure, and we go back to the local group. They do such a wonderful job. I've been to the walk many times. I haven't really done the longest day yet, but it shows you're not alone.
Right. There's a lot of people suffering from Alzheimer's disease as well. And one of the unique groups that I have been volunteering for with the Alzheimer's Association is the early stage Alzheimer's support group. And this is the only support group that includes both the person with the diagnosis as well as their care partner. So these are people who have been diagnosed but are still able to function in the world, have acceptable communication skills, and can participate in this particular group. It is a closed group. It's 10 weeks. And during those 10 weeks, it's 2 hours a session. We spend the first hour on education, and we'll talk about some various component of the disease, of medications, of behaviors, of the stigma, and how to tell your family and others about what's going on. The second half of that support group, we split those with the diagnosis and those that are their care partners. And Julie Robinson and I co-facilitate this group. So she'll take one of the groups, I'll take the other, and then we provide more of a support group for the particular groups where they're at. And we do that for an hour. We also bring in other subject matter experts during various weeks. So we have an attorney that comes in and talks about estate planning and powers of attorney. We have Eric Collette, who I know has been on as a subject matter expert in the area of dementia, and we'll talk about changes, communication, behaviors. We bring in an expert to talk about anticipatory grief, because really we're experiencing the loss of our loved one as the disease progresses. People don't have to die to lose them. So it's a really important support group. If you have anybody out there that you think might be interested in participating, I ask you to call the local Alzheimer's office. We do have a pre-screening process that we have to go through to make sure that the individual with the diagnosis can appropriately serve in that group. And the phone number for the local office is 208-206-0041.
thought you'd repeat that one.
Oh, Kevin, I need to let you do your job, too.
I appreciate that. 206-0041. You know, I can tell you the experience that my family had. My Uncle Alan, who lived most of his life by himself, a very good patriot. Mm-hmm. My dad had to go get him. He was living outside of St. Louis. Mm-hmm. Had to go sell his house, clean up his house, take all his valuables. And, you know, God bless him, my parents tried for many, many years, for a couple of years, to actually have him, you know, live with us in their home. And, you know, the strain on the caregiver, you know, my mom was the primary caregiver for him. And at the end, you know, eventually he went into a assisted living facility, and it was tough because, you know, they forget how to take care of themselves from everything.
Absolutely.
And you have people, Dee, who, you know, you grew up with them, and now you have to bathe them.
Right.
And that's something that many people don't understand. Could you talk a little bit about the strain on the caregiver?
I would be very happy to do that. Even when you have the advantage of being able to have your loved one lived in an assisted living where they can get more on-hands care and you can stay in that family role, there's still a tremendous amount that you have to do to stay up with their care. And caregiver burnout is just huge. It's an ongoing issue, and most of us don't realize it until it's too late. We're sick, we're not getting to the doctor, we're not getting enough sleep, we're exhausted and worn down. And so taking care of the caregiver is everybody's responsibility, and including our own, to recognizing when we need to ask for help.
Well, and when you're talking about the local group, a power of attorney, now we can talk about that, but then all of a sudden when the reality hits, two different stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the very least, to make sure that each and every one of us have done our own healthcare power of attorney and living will is essential, and the financial one as well.
Many people resist that because they consider that the self-fulfilling prophecy.
And yet, anything can happen to us on any day. Car accidents happen, crazy things happen, so be prepared.
Very optimistic here you are today. Dee Childers joining us, lifechangeseldercare.com. Check her out or call her at 321-5567. Anything else you'd like to leave? Again, your continued presence on this program here. Any words of wisdom?
Well, a couple of things. One is there are many support groups that the Alzheimer's Association sponsors as well. They can be found by calling the local office. There's also the Memory Cafe for those that are early stage Alzheimer's. Once they finish our group, that's kind of a next place they can go. And the Memory Cafes are held at the Eagle Library and the Meridian Library. I don't have the dates with me for that, but the local Alzheimer's office will do that. Be prepared. Don't stick your head in the sand. Call for help.
Well, Dee, we appreciate you, and we urge folks to check you out at lifechangeseldercare.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. I really appreciate our time with you.
I'm so glad that one of us is prepared. And that would be you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. This is Garden Plaza's Welcome Home, Garden Plaza of Valley View, right here in the Treasure Valley. If you have a call, a question, maybe you notice somebody in the neighborhood, maybe it's you, and you're looking to move out of your home and need a safe place to live, they can answer your questions anytime. Wonderful staff. Their number, 208-322-0311. 208-322-0311, and you can reach them on their website, Valley View RET, that's valleyviewret.com. You're listening to Kevin Miller on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller with you. Welcome home, Garden Plaza of Valley View. On the stations we talked about. Let's talk a little bit about the phone number here at Valley View. If you'd like to get a hold of them, 208-322-0311, valleyviewret.com. Joining us now is Josh Baldrels. Josh, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
why don't we get you a little closer to the microphone there so people can hear you. Talk a little about Serenity Homes of the Treasure Valley, sir.
Well, we are a certified family home, and for those of you out there that don't understand what a certified family home is, we offer geriatric care for up to 4 residents in our home. It's a complete and total home environment. We live there. We raise our kids there. So when you're looking for some place to go when you can't be in your own home, we offer that small, intimate environment that is fitting for a lot of folks. You know, I found that there's 2 types of people. There's the people that really thrive in the social aspects, like the wonderful group here at Valley View. And there's folks that like it a little bit quieter, and we really thrive with those that like it a little bit quieter.
So now this is your phone number here if people want to call you, or is that
Yes.
okay, so we can give that out?
Yeah.
All right, 208-869-3703. That's 869-3703. So how does this work? How does Serenity Homes of the Treasure Valley work? You described it a little, but people are going, my own home? Somebody coming in? And obviously you can go to YouTube, Serenity Homes, and you can see a picture of our friend Josh right there. So if you could, how does it work, and how is it different from Garden Plaza Valley View?
Well, it's different just because it's smaller. There's only a maximum of 4 residents in our home allowed by Health and Welfare, so we don't have a large group. It's small, it's quiet. We are actually in the foothills just north of Eagle on 5 acres, so we're out of the rat race of the city. When you go outside, you can hear the ducks flying around, or you can see our horses out in the pasture. You can really, really get out of town. We have a large garden that we have every summer, so fresh fruits and vegetables will come into the house. It's just a home environment and a home feel. When people move in with us, we're moving in what we view as an extension of our family. Obviously, we technically call them residents because that's what they are, but you know, it's not really that way for us. It's family, and I think that for a lot of people in our society, they thrive in that and they love that. We do a lot of memory care. One of our specialties is diabetic care. We have the ability to care for people all the way from an independent living type environment through assisted living, nursing level care, and end of life care. We've currently helped 30 people pass away, and that is a very, very incredible thing that we get to do with those people.
Josh Bartles, Serenity Homes of the Treasure Valley. How did you get into this?
Well, I married into it. My wife has been doing this for 12 years, and we've been together 8 years now. She actually had a friend that did this and told her that she should start it up, and she didn't think that would be right for her. And fortunately, that friend was persistent. She had her come over and help a lot, had her involved in the business on that aspect for 3 or 4 months, and then looked at her again and said, I think you should review doing this for a living. And at that point, she started up her own home and has been doing it for the last 12 years now.
So what's a typical day like at Serenity Homes of the Treasure Valley?
Pretty relaxed. You know, our residents will get up and we'll make them breakfast. It's typically around 9:30 when we have breakfast, and then they can really do whatever they want in a home environment. They can sit on the back porch if it's a sunny day and look at the view. We have a beautiful, beautiful view of Bogus Basin off our back porch. They can watch the horses. We have cats and dogs that some of our residents absolutely adore. They can go back to their room and watch TV. They can sit in the front room with everybody else and watch TV. They can read books. They can go for walks around the property. Sometimes they have family members that come get them and take them to lunches, or it's really just, it's not like the activities of a facility. It's like the activities of a home.
Sure. How do you bond with those folks? Because they're literally in your home, and you've got kids. And
yeah, it's second nature. We've been doing it for so long, and it's part of who we are. It's just what we do, and sometimes when folks move in with us, it takes a week or two to try to figure out what they like and what they don't like, and you can tell that they're a little nervous because they're trying to acclimate to their new environment. We just take the time that's needed, and some folks it's 1 day, some folks it's 2 weeks. It's really per person.
So when we're looking at senior care, you talked about the services that you provide, but emotionally, I'm sure a lot of people have questions about how you deal with their mom and dad or grandp or pop or...
Well, we utilize a lot of outside entities. We work a lot with Keystone Doctors Services, and Keystone provides a fantastic service for us coming in as far as any medical cares. We work with home health agencies, we work with hospice agencies, and as far as the medical cares go, that's how that's provided. We take care of all the physical cares. We make sure that they're well taken care of. We offer the TLC. We treat them like they're part of our family, and we project that from the very first time we meet them and the very first time we meet their loved ones, and we offer that as a confidence. We feel that once somebody comes to see our home, they can understand how our home runs.
And you give tours and such?
Yes.
All right, and that number again is 208-869-3703, 208-869-3703. Again, you're talking about seeing people to the end.
Yes.
Over 30 people?
Yes, and it's a privilege. There's 2 times in a person's life that are the absolute most intimate, when you're coming into the world and when you're going out of the world. And for us to have the ability to be with those people when they're going out is irreplaceable.
You're getting choked up about it.
Yeah, every time.
And you do this continually.
Yes.
Going back to that, just that emotion, that sense of duty that most of us seek to avoid.
A lot of people seek to avoid it because they don't understand it.
Right. They I'll speak for myself. We compartmentalize things, and we just don't want to deal with things, and we move on.
Yeah, exactly.
And dude, you're a soldier, man. You do this all the time. This is your calling, as we've said
absolutely.
before.
There's no other way to describe what we do for a living than it's a calling.
What would you say to other folks that are interested, that want to come by? Because I don't think you can get this level of care that you're providing anywhere, right?
Well, there's lots of facilities in town that offer a great level of care.
Sure.
We just do it in a little bit different manner.
But you're very specialized. And,
yeah.
I mean, do people sit around and watch the TV? Or are you going to, how does that, it's a very family experience, not family-like. It is family.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no word better to describe it than family. We have an open door. I tell family members that once their loved one is with us, you're walking into their home. It's not just a facility. It's not just an environment. It's their home.
Sure. Establishing it, and we talk about this a lot with our friends here at Garden Plaza Valley View, that whole trust. That's huge.
Absolutely it is.
When you deal with, somebody's kid that's maybe a little older, a little younger than you, how do you bond with them? How do you earn that trust?
Well, I think it's just we're an open book. We spend time with them,
right,
so that they can get to know us and get to know us on a personal level, not a professional level. We're out there for them. I mean, we answer their questions, we console them,
and we're going to carry that on. We're going to get you on next week, Josh. So stay with us.
That sounds great.
Thank you. All right, you can give Josh a call at 869-3703. That's 869-3703, 208 area code. Serenity Homes of the Treasure Valley. You can check them out on YouTube. And remember, another week of Garden Plaza of Valley View's Welcome Home. Kevin Miller with you. Call them. Kat would love to hear from you today. 208-322-0311, valleyviewret.com. Have a great day, everyone. You're listening to Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Dr. Rosie's next. Good afternoon.